Fam, we got Mary Beanie in the house. We got Racial X210 in the house. We got Sylvia Wick Kelly in the house. What's going on? Those are our three for podium. Mary Beanie, Sylvia Wick Kelly. Big shout out to the fam popping in today, checking in with us, seeing how everything's going. We are at the Brazilian GP weekend, but this is the sprint quali. And also, if you didn't know, you should know right now, this is what's up for grabs this weekend. Lewis Hamilton, Gym Mint 10, taking the shoey at the GP. This is going to be somebody's collection this weekend. Well, it won't be in your collection this weekend. It'll be in your collection when I send it to you. But all names going up until tomorrow, all names going up until tomorrow will be included in the wheel spin on Sunday. So get your super chats in. That's what I'm doing as we're nearing the end of the season, trying to have a good time. And it is game time to see who's going to be on top, who's going to be in pole position. A lot of people are wondering if Ferrari can continue on this pretty interesting run that they've been on. I myself am also wondering if Ferrari's going to be able to do that. Ferrari, to me, I would need to see them do this in order to feel very confident that they indeed are going to be on some kind of real run that will say Ferrari is on the right track coming 2025. You as Ferrari fans will have something to look forward to, but also something to look forward to tomorrow is Lewis Hamilton will be driving the MP4 5 Bravo, the B-Spec, and it is Ayrton Senna's B-Spec on top of that in Brazil. So try to tune in and check that out. That will be a memorable, historic, nostalgic event that will take place in Formula One history, something likely you will not forget. Also, the sound of a V10 engine is ridiculously beautiful and porn-like. So just to keep you up on that. Also something you all should be aware of, we'll also talk about this, is we do have a grid place penalty for Max Verstappen taking the ICE and the exhaust system. He has not gone over on exhaust. You get up until 8 exhausts. He will be 2 over on the ICE. 4 is the limit, and he's already have a 5th, and this will be his 6th. So he will be taking a 10-place grid penalty because of that update and that change. So we will see him a little bit further back in the packing order, regardless of what he does coming up for qualifying on the Sunday GP. So also keep that in mind. I'm not mad at that. Hey, it is what it is, but I do think Red Bull want to try to get as much power, get as much reliability as they possibly can. Don't know how reliable it will be. Sometimes things new don't always work, but they're trying to give Max as much as they can give him so he can ward off this Lando attack of the championship drivers championship that is this season. So we'll see how good that actually works. I'm hoping that Ferrari is going to take some points off not only Max, but hopefully maybe Ferrari leaves a door in there for Lando to come up, because we did see Lando progressively gaining ground on Ferrari on the last event. So if they can do that, and of course Max is going to be a cop blocker, because that's what he does. He's a cop blocker. He tries to block up Lando. He's going to try to keep him from getting as many points as he can. Often people do that. You'll say it's not their race and all this other stuff, but it is. But I think that it indeed is a 10 grid place penalty, but could be wrong. But I think it is 10. If it's more than that, we'll see. But I think it's 10. I think it's 10. So big shout out to everybody. Right now, we got Leclerc at the top, and that is where a lot of Ferrari fans would like to see Ferrari start. Remind you, this is just for the sprint. This is not for the race on Sunday. This is for the sprint that will happen tomorrow, as well as Lewis Hamilton driving the MP4 5 Bravo, okay? Now, we do have a change in weather right now. You'll see that your temperatures, your wind is 8.3 kilometers due south. Your track temp is 40.7. Your air temp is 21.5, and your humidity is up 77%. There is no rain right now, but that does not mean there won't be rain later. Now, of course, if rain does come, that's not going to be the best situation for any of the teams, as this track, like our previous track at Coda, resurfaced. So they've been laying down as much rubber as they could with one FP session. I'm not too sure about the supporting races or events here to see if there are going to be any other vehicles on track that will be able to lay some type of compound down on this asphalt. But if there is, that will help. If it rains, it really kind of won't matter. It kind of resets things. And that's not going to, it'll make for a very interesting race. It'll make for an interesting race. It'll make for a challenging race. Might even make for a race Red Bull won't perform well in, as we've seen that sometimes. But I don't know quite if it's going to happen. But if it does happen, that's where we'll be sitting. Plus, we're in a weekend where preparation is not given the abundant amount of time that we would in a traditional authentic week of Formula One, FP1, FP2, FP3, Q1, Q2, Q3, and then to the race. Right now, we got FP1, that's it. We got the sprint quali. You might as well treat it like a FP2. That's it. Then we got the sprint race, get you a little bit more time, and then you got the quali, and then you kind of go in. It seems like a lot, right? But it's not, because a lot of these events don't allow teams to do as much trimming, tuning, adjusting, replacing without per firme rules and without probably taking some type of penalty at the end. So those are the things that we have to consider. Right now, we got Liam Lawson, the driver who is poking the bear of Sergio Perez as far as that Red Bull seat. And that is something that is a real thing right now. My dog Pia going to the top of the boards. This is just SQ1. This is just SQ1. This is something light. Nothing, don't take too much from this. We're just going to watch some drivers change in and out. SQ1, we could do a little talking. Things change in and out. Also, do not forget, like I said, the giveaway this weekend that is going to be taking place is this Lewis Hamilton collector's item, Gem Mint 10 PSA. This is going to be Lewis Hamilton taking a shoey at the Grand Prix of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and it is something that you want to try to get into your arsenal. I can't tell you that. Super chats that will stop. The deadline for super chats will be tomorrow during the qualifying round. Any super chats not done then, your name will not go into this one, but it will go into the final giveaway that we'll be doing later on this season as well. But tomorrow, after qualifying, all super chats that are done then, I will take those names and back to our last one, which was Coda, I believe, and I will go ahead and put all those into the wheel, and then those will be the names spun to see who is going to get this Lewis Hamilton collector's item, this memorabilia. Now, I'm going to tell you something that would be crazy. It would be crazy if Max Verstappen taking a new ICE has some type of exhaust problem. That will then probably put him close to over the amount that he can have as far as exhaust, I believe. I believe that'll put him over the amount. Because right now, previously, he used 7, and this will be his 8th, which means he'll be right on the fence of his limit. He'll be right at his limit. If something were to happen, like a rear-end incident or accident, given exceptions for certain things, he would end up taking the 9th, and then that could possibly be a penalty, but it would need to be some kind of mechanical failure or whatnot. We got DG Big Blue in the live chat. We got Maria Duncan in the live chat. We got Kirk in the live chat. We got a few family members pulling up to the live chat to watch this qualifying round, as we are at the second home of Lewis Hamilton, the Brazilian Sao Paulo GP. So this is definitely something that is completely awesome. I know people would like to see Lewis Hamilton finish on the podium, if not win a race, but I'm not sure we're going to see that. As if you kind of saw, if you didn't watch the first FP1 session, which, like I said, you could take some from it, you can take nothing from it, but you'll see Russell was in second, Lewis Hamilton won in 16th. There were some complaints from Lewis Hamilton about the car then as well, so I'm not sure how well he's going to do here, especially given what I just told you not too long ago, is that they will not have all the time that they typically have to make adjustments, replacements, and such things. Right now, I think they were considering changing Lewis Hamilton over to the old floor, which is a risk in itself, but we'll see what happens. We also got Uno in the house. Uno's in the house right now. Big shout out to Uno joining us for the sprint quali. Big shout out to Ola's in the house. What's up? We got Ola Green Badge. That's what I'm talking about. Making the progression up through the badge. We got all kinds of purple badges. We got blue badges. Big shout out to the green badge. I know you just started on your journey, but that purple, that green, and that blue reminds me of those Brazilian colors. So big shout out to the Brazilian color clan up in here doing their thing. So let's see what we got. We got Pia still at the front. Lando is in 7th. Capping off at 10 is Alex Albon. Didn't have the bestest of race events last time around, getting kicked out of there with Yuki Tsunoda. So hopefully it's a better time now. We got a lot of talk about Colapinto around the paddock, trying to find him somewhere to go, thinking that he deserves to have a seat in Formula One. And I will say this, I like to see anybody get something that they have worked hard for. But I will say over time, I think we've seen a little bit too much of a premature situation where we're trying to put these drivers in the seats. They might not be quite ready yet. They've had a good small stint, which is a very small sample size, and then they get into it, and then everything starts pounding on top of them, and then it kind of falls off right now. All right, right now we got 2 minutes or so left in the SQ1 session. We're looking going to SQ2, trying to see who is not going to make it. If it's your first time watching a qualifying round with us, right here in the red area, you'll see right here, everybody from Alonso down, if they stay there, they will be dropped off. All right, you need to be 15 and higher if you want to move into SQ2. If it's your first time watching this and you're wondering what that red area pretty much is stating, it's stating that you're going to get your ass kicked out if you don't get fast enough. And if you're not fast, you're last. And if you're not faster than the last person, you're definitely going to get your ass kicked out, okay? Sometimes you don't have to be the fastest person. You just need to be faster than the person that's just about to get kicked out so you can continue going on. And we got drivers pulling up into the pits and pit out right now. We got 1 minute and 46 seconds left up right here. The pit lane was pretty backed up if you're not watching on any of the platforms that stream Formula One, because I'm not going to advertise for them. They don't pay us anything. They don't give us anything. So not going to advertise for them, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was pretty backed up right there. But right now we got Pia at the top. Max Verstappen just pops into that second spot. Now do remember on Sunday, he will be taking that grid place penalty. But right now, there it is. Second spot, Max Verstappen. You know he's good for a hot lap. I say it all the time because it is very true. Max Verstappen making some comments in rebuttal to comments that were made about him and his driving style wheel to wheel. Max Verstappen seems to pretty much think that there's nothing wrong with the way he drives, although he didn't say that. He says he thinks he's been in Formula One for 10 years, and he thinks by now he knows what he's doing. That wasn't the question. The question wasn't, do you know what you're doing? I think you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing when you push people off track. You know exactly what you're doing when you force people to try to decide if they want to wreck their race or let you by. You know exactly what you're doing when you dive bomb, trying to put your front nose in through the apex to exploit that gray area. You know what you're doing. The question is, and the thing that is floating around, is Max Verstappen a good wheel-to-wheel driver? And the answer is no, he's not a good wheel-to-wheel driver, and he knows that. So he knows a few things, including that. He's not a good wheel-to-wheel driver, and I said it, and I'm going to stand on it until I see anything different that would tell me that Max Verstappen is improving as a wheel-to-wheel driver. But right now, not that. Right now, Perez right there at number 2, talking about chassis changes for Perez to try to instate some type of confidence in himself, or find maybe a gremlin that may have been resisting or residing in the chassis that could have been the explanation for Perez's lack of performance. Right now, I just think Perez doesn't fit. He doesn't fit at Red Bull. It doesn't fit in his car. It doesn't fit in the direction they're taking it. It doesn't fit in how they're making things happen. And Perez needs to move on elsewhere. Right there, 0 seconds on the clock. And as it sits right now, it is looking like we are going to have Ocon. Well, wait, let's wait till Gasly finishes out this last segment. Gasly moves up out of there. Let's wait and see what happens to Ocon when he moves up out of here. Right now, Stroll has dropped down into that drop-off zone. Right here, Ocon is going to be finishing up. And if Ocon finishes up, he gets out of there as well. Yuki Tsunoda slides right down into that drop-off zone. I don't want to see Yuki go out in this first SQ1. Valtteri climbs out of there. So let's see. Haas car. Oh, my gosh. Berman, how about Ali? How about McLaren doubled up at the top? Ferrari separated. Red Bull together at 4 and 5. Alex Albon into third spot, while Berman and Hulk minus K-Mag due to an illness. We still have 2 Haas cars in the top 10. Can they keep that type of pressure all the way through these sprint qualifying sessions? Also, on top of that, is this another race weekend that we will see 2 Haas cars into the points? That is a major accomplishment for a team like Haas, okay, in perspective, and also a major outlook on next season of things to come for Haas fans and the Haas team. So big shout out to Albon. Right now, looks like our drop-off zone is going to include all of Team Aston Martin. Ocon represent Alpine. Yuki for Red Bull, which Red Bull Visa Cash App, VCarb. And also Zhou is going to be out of there. Kickstarter F1, which has been pretty much desolate, horrible, and horrendous all of this season. I would like to point out, Colapinto is in top 10. The Argentine driver is showing a bit of strength in his opportunity that he is getting in this temporary seat that is owned and holds its way for Carlos Sainz in 2025. That is why there is kind of a buzz going around about Colapinto having some place in Formula One next season. It is rumored that Christian Karen Horner went to the Williams area to so-called try coffee. I think not. Maybe to have a word about, can we sign this driver? And I would say no, Williams, don't let him sign him. Because what happened? Lim Lawson didn't want to go nowhere. He want to stay right where he is. He want to stay true to the Red Bull team. Yuri, racial N-word using Vips, want to stay true to the Red Bull team. Don't let him go there. Don't let him go there and get sabotaged. Don't let Colapinto go to the dark side and lose his mind because of the toxicity that exists in that team. Colapinto, don't do it to yourself. You're going to get your time. Don't rush it going to a trash character integrity team, bro. It's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your sanity. Just trying to say, I'm just trying to keep it there. So there it is. Alonso, Ocon, Yuki, Stroll, and Zhou are out of there. Paul getting his name in there. Paul, brother, what are you getting your name in there for? Paul says, I'm putting more of my name in the hat for that Lewis Hamilton giveaway, brother. He said, this one is mine. Let's go, LH. Smash the like button. Peace and love, fam. Peace and love to the brother right there. Paul, always scholar and a gentleman. Big shout out to you. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. SQ1 is done. Okay. I would like to point out Lewis Hamilton just 3 spots above, I think, where he finished out in FP1, which is not great. If that continues, Lewis Hamilton would be out in SQ2. Russell just barely sitting there for SQ2, 3, if that happens to be. He's got to get above that top 10. Lewis Hamilton's got to get above the top 10. We're going to see. And it would be a bit not great to see Lewis with everything that's coming with this weekend, to see Lewis that we know is about to drive the Ayrton Senna car. This is his second home. He is an honorary citizen made by the country of Brazil. He's been here and done great things. And if we see Lewis Hamilton exit in SQ2, it is just furthermore evidence that not only is Mercedes ultimately failing as a team, but this car is still not good enough to be a consistent competitor and tool for these drivers to utilize to win races, let alone another driver championship. So Mercedes to me is just, they are Mercedes. That's what I can say. I got a little bit of taste for some ice cream, you know, some dulce leche ice cream, something like that. It really, I shouldn't have ice cream anyway. I usually have to eat lactate ice cream, but you know, sometimes things ain't good with lactate. Sometimes you want the real deal. All right, we got Sylvia Wick Kelly popping over here with the super chat. Says, I'm adding my name too. Oh, Paul, I'm fighting you in the playground for this. We got a playground fight, y'all. We got Sylvia Wick Kelly going to go to the playground and meet Paul at the seesaw and give him a nice seesaw uppercut. She going to ask Paul, come on, step a little closer, jump on the seesaw. Pow! It's going to look like one of those cartoons when you just see Paul take off. But yeah, that's what we got going on right now. We got the clock reset at 10 minutes. We are getting ready to run into the next one. We got a bunch of mustard on there. And if you haven't been here before, again, like I say, I use mustard because we got a bunch of medium yellow striped tires right there. DG Big Blue says, Jay, I checked my mail and I have the card in hand. That is our previous winner of the last giveaway. DG Big Blue was the one who got the collector's item last time. That one was driver of the day at Silverstone with the 44 car, all blacked out on it. Big shout out to DG Big Blue getting that. This is the new one that is up for grabs. Every time you put a super chat in, your name goes on the wheel. So if you did 5 super chat, your name goes on the wheel 5 times. You did 10 or 20 over the course of time that we have been doing the giveaway and taking names, your name will be on there 10 or 20 times. So I try to give y'all the most opportunity I can to get this. There will be more giveaways. I'm liking to do these things this way. It's fun in exchange sometimes for the trivia. This gives more people an opportunity that may not have a vast knowledge of Formula One. Maybe they don't have a bunch of tools to look around and search. Mary Beanie says, I'll fight the both of you, Sylvia and Paul. Mm-hmm. And Mimi says, I'm adding my name as well. I want that card. I'm telling you, it's a sweet card. It is a sweet card. It is Lewis Hamilton taking a shoey. And that shoe, you know who that shoe belongs to. I believe that is Danny Rick's shoe. I think that's Danny Rick's shoe. And on top of that, it is a Gem Mint 10 PSA rated. This is a collector's item that will only gain more value with time that passes. And you can only imagine what a card like that will be valued at after Lewis Hamilton retires and he leaves the sport of Formula One. You will have that encased. It's registered. It is official. It's numbered. It's serialized and it's graded. You know that you have what they call a perfect card. When you see Gem Mint 10 on a slab, that means the card in its inspection was perfect to the company that was inspecting it. So pretty good value right there. Racer X210 says, McLaren looking strong. Lando better turn up if he wants that championship. And you're right. You're right. Racer X210. Lando has to turn up if he wants this championship. No points of no ifs, ands, buts about it. And there have been plenty of opportunities given to Lando where McLaren have missed out. To this weekend is another one. Right now, Max Verstappen is facing a grid place penalty. No matter how good he does at qualifying, he's going backwards. Okay, it's just about how far back he goes. So let's say Max Verstappen only qualifies 7th. He's going to be sliding outside of the top 10. Maybe outside of the cresting window of the top 15. Paul says, oh no, fam, that's my card. Sorry, not sorry. The pettiness in here is real. Good luck, everyone. Sylvia Wick comes back and says, I'll take you both on. Bitch slap at dawn, meet me by the side. Oh my gosh. That is the best one yet. Bitch slaps at dawn, meet me by the slides. You can tell Sylvia Wick-Kelly has had her fights in the playground before. She is not new to this. She is not new to letting people know you're getting your ass whooped in the sand, in the mulch, whatever we got, rubber tires, you're getting your ass slapped up. We got Galactus in the chat, says power of the cosmics is here, haha. Count me in for the Lewis Hamilton card. Also, Red Bull is burning up PUs like chain smokers. I don't smoke, but hey, you know what I'm saying? You know you don't hire off your own supply. That's all I got to say. Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all, again, tomorrow, don't forget, right now, we're in SQ2. Don't forget to check out tomorrow, Lewis Hamilton riding that. Let's see what we got right now. New drop-off zone has been established. As you see, Perez just fell over in that. That's what Perez does. He falls over into the drop-off zone quite often. Right there, you got Russell leading at the top of the charts. You got Gasly behind him, and you know that's an aberration, so you know that's not going to stay there. You got Valtteri behind Gasly. You know that's not going to stay there. Temporarily, those drivers are there. Lando, Ferrari, Hamilton, and Russell, and Perez, and Verstappen, these are drivers that likely will be here. And this is kind of odd because it already seems like we have our top 10 already. That this is going to be the top 10, except for Valtteri and Gasly. Those are going to be replaced, and I do think one of the Haas cars likely will replace that. We got Racer X210 says, nah, that card is mine. Stone Cold Stunner says so. Get the beer, crack it on your head. Mimi says, I will fight y'all for that card. It's mine. We got a lot of fighting going on. Listen, let me go get a first aid kit. Let me get a first aid kit. If you're just joining the live, the fam are fighting over getting who's going to get this awesome card, and we are going to see who's going to get it. But right now, they are going. If you don't know how to fight, don't step in this. If you don't know how to fight, you might not want to mess with these people because these people right here, they've been throwing hands before, all right? All right, so right here, we got Norris at the top. That's what I'm talking about. Lando has to optimize, y'all. 47-point gap between he and Max Verstappen, okay? So right now, these are opportunities that Lando needs to take. If Max having this grid place penalty doesn't finish well, matter of fact, let's say if Max even finishes out of the points, which is unlikely, I think, but it's not impossible. Plus, this is a track where you can make quite a bit of passing on. We saw Lewis Hamilton make one of the most iconic comebacks from grid place penalties all the way up through the sprint and then to the race to just just do an, it's crazy. It's beautiful. You all know what I'm talking about. Now we're still here, and Max Verstappen will have the same opportunity, new ICE, so he should have a bit more refreshed, rejuvenated power in that Red Bull car. We're going to see what he could do with it. But one thing I do want to know, does McLaren have their crap together? Can McLaren come in here, do what they need to do, and take these races? Will Piastri be in a position where he can hold up Max? Piastri needs to qualify up in the top 5 for sure, because that's as low, if any, that Max is going to drop. And I do think it's a 10-place grid penalty, but I need to check. But P is going to need to do his job with Max Verstappen. He's going to need to hold him up. And you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't be mad if Piastri causes some type of incident with Max Verstappen that DQs him from the race. Something small, a puncture, a floor damage, side pod gap. We got Uno in the house, and Uno says this might be my purple. Soon be oh, yeah, that's right, Uno, you glue. Also, Merc do good for 4 Lewis Hamilton. I got you. Paul says, see if Lando will hold the door open like he good gentleman. He usually is. And you know what? That's what Lando had been doing. But I think maybe too little too late, Lando might have found a little bit of Pomeranian in himself. He might have dug deep over the weekend and found that bit of Pomeranian, said, you know what? There is a little dog in me. There's a little dog that exists right here. And I can hear it just burp, 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 burp. And that's as much bark as Lando got. But hopefully that bark is enough where he could just gnaw a little ankle like like, you know, gnaw a little ankle like a little chihuahua. But if he can, and Max Verstappen's ankle, don't let him through the door. Don't let him through the door. Sylvia Wakila says, y'all getting a people's elbow to the, oh my gosh. Sylvia Wakila, you a fighter. You're a fighter. Oh my gosh. Sylvia with Kelly's hair, people's elbow to the throat. Like, right there. Damn it. Dang, that's gonna be crazy. This crazy right now. I'm a little concerned for y'all. Verstappen on the radio saying the car doesn't turn. Have y'all noticed since Verstappen has not been, the car hasn't been performing well, Verstappen just has all types of complaints? All types of complaints. I'm not saying they're not valid, but you know, when you're front running, you're quiet. When things get challenging, you're just squeaking everywhere. Just squeaking everywhere. Right now, we got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. This time is going by fast because we're having a good time. That is cool. Those sparks coming off that Williams car was cool. I hope I can get a shot of that. I hope a good photographer got a shot of that so I could throw it into our slideshow. Right now, if things stay the way they are, which hopefully not, all cars in the pits, so you know it's time for them to try to make changes, go out and make progress, trying to get out of that bottom 15, because those 5 drivers will be out of there if they don't improve. That is Colapinto, that is Valtteri, that is both Haas cars, and that'll be Liam Lawson. And if Liam Lawson does that, that's kind of be similar to what we were already seeing with Danny Rick, so that's not necessarily a hot thing and a hot topic of things that we really want to see happen right there. So let's see what he could do right here with less than 2 minutes about to approach on this clock, seeing where these things are going to go. Let me see what we got right here. Trying to look up something else for you all. Is this it right here? I think this is it. I think I have it. Here it is, good people. Here it is. It is indeed. It is indeed. It is indeed only 5 places. All right, here it is right here. Document. Max Verstappen, FP1, following power unit element has been used. 6 internal combustion engine, if you didn't know what ICE stands for. Article 28.2, 5 grid place penalty for the race. Okay, so currently right now he is facing a 5 grid place penalty regardless of where he finishes. So like I said, if he finishes first, he's going to slide back 5. And if anything else were to happen, then possibly we're looking at more than that. If anything else were to happen, then possibly we're looking at more than that. So we will see what happens there if anything happens. So yes, 5 grid place penalty for Max Verstappen coming up there. So that's what we got to look forward to. And right now, Mary Beanie in the super chat says, anytime, any place, Sylvia, Just bring it. Oh my gosh, we got movie slogans going out here. I never seen Mary Beanie this funky and Sylvia Wick this funky. Like, they are really getting that. It's like cats up. I think Paul just kind of stepped out the way like, yo, this is getting out of hand. They might beat the shit out of me. Let me step back here. If you don't know, you better know. This is up for grabs, and the family is trying to claim it hard. Somebody is going to walk away with this Sunday. All super chats that are eligible will end. The deadline will be ending tomorrow during our live event for the qualifying. So if you want to get your name in that hat, you better be there, or you better be in here now, because they are not playing about it. Right now, the time has ended, so let's see who's not going to make it. Paul comes over there, and Paul says, don't nobody even look at my Lewis Hamilton card. I love you all. Don't even look at it. Let's go, Ollie Berman. Berman going up to 5th. Gasly up to 5th. Russell in 7th. Lewis Hamilton looking like he may not make it, but that is only for the time being. Lewis Hamilton needs to lay down some good segments here. Whoa, yo, McLaren is looking mightily strong. McLaren is looking mighty strong right now. This looks like a McLaren race. Ferrari, if they could get in between, Max is going to drop 5 places on Sunday regardless, but this might give us a little bit of a glimpse of what to see for qualifying on Saturday tomorrow, okay? Right here, it looks like Lewis Hamilton didn't make it. Oh, my gosh. Perez is out of there. Valtteri's out of there. Colapinto's out of there. And it looks like Lewis Hamilton is out of there. Damn it. Yo, this is ugly. This is ugly, chat. It is a sprint race and all, but Lewis is out of there. He's out of there. This is one of his favorite circuits, and he's out of there. He does not make it. Lewis Hamilton does not make it. Russell makes it 8th, but he is in the SQ3 regardless. This is for the sprint race, so not so pressing, but still, you know, we want to see them working as hard as they can to improve a lot of things. Max Verstappen in 4th. Sylvia Wickler says, that's cheerleader talk, scratch your eyes out down. 3rd swing from the left, and Paul crotch shot, boom. Oh my gosh. Sylvia Wick Kelly is so creative with this shit talking, yo. Maria says, Jesus, I'm done. I'm out of here. It's getting really violent in the super chat. It is getting really violent in the super chat, you all. While that time is right there. I'm just gonna leave this picture here just so you all can see what's up for grabs. All right, you got a good look at it. You got a good look at it. All right. So there it is. Lewis Hamilton is out. Things happen. It's not the best thing we always want to see. Racer X2 says, man, I'll slam y'all through a table for that card. I'm crazy like that. I'm crazy like that. This is crazy funny. This is what you need on a day where things have been challenging. Your family with all types of dissing Jones. This is awesome. This is awesome. Nowhere else can you get this type of entertainment. Big shout out. So yeah, it is. All drivers in the pit. You see it. This is SQ3. All chips pushed to the center of the table. We are going to see what goes down next. What goes down next. Listen, you all, I'm going to tell you something. Get your hats in there for sure. This is crazy. This is entertaining. This is like a WWE wrestling match that I'm watching in the live chat. I'm visualizing that in my head. Like, that's what I'm visualizing. I'm visualizing like chairs getting thrown, people getting slammed off the gate. I'm looking at people climb the rope, somebody pull somebody's hair and pull them down. This is like a wrestling match. This is the best wrestling match ever. Yeah. All right, so here it is, your top 10 drivers that will be fighting for this pecking order right here. And those drivers are Lando Norris and Pia paired together at the top. We got Leclerc and Sainz separated by Max Verstappen at 3 and 5. We got Gasly, who makes it in the SQ3 trying to collect some points for Alpine here. We got Ollie Behrman who outdrives Hulkenberg for the 7th place. We got Russell in 8th, and we got T-Law doing things better than Danny Rick for sure in 9th place, and Alex Albon doing what he typically does in the top 10, trying to grab points for Williams going into the sprint race tomorrow. Yo, I got to say, Liam Lawson, hey, man, you keep this up through the season, and Danny Rick, you probably don't ever need to come back to Formula One. Just keeping it a buck, bro. Just keeping it a buck, because Liam Lawson, and all probably makes the team wish they would have resolved that a long time ago and got let Liam stay in the seat when he took over for Danny Rick. I think that would have been the better thing to do. As you see right there, we're getting reset. There's only 8 minutes left on this clock. Right now, we still got that mustard on all cars right there. Also, you could see the laps from these cars used. We got Norris and Lando. Norris is Lando, jackass. We got Norris and Pia right there with multiples of three laps, with Lando having the fresher tires, as you see right there. We got Leclerc with 6 laps on his, with Sainz having the fresher tires. It doesn't matter. Red Bull, there's only one in there left to fight. We got Gasly with 6. We got Behrman with 3. Okay, so we got drivers in there with a little bit more fresher tires, 3-lap fresher tires, 3-lap new or less old tires right here. Alex Albon including that. I do think that Alex Albon, Liam Lawson are likely where they're going to be. Other than Behrman maybe sliding down and Gasly, maybe they switch places there and go to 8 and 7. Sylvia Witt Kelly says, Racer, I'm going to scissor kick you from a height. Oh, I'm bringing ladders. Oh, I forgot about the ladders. Sylvia Witt Kelly is going crazy. She says, I'm bringing ladders. Oh, my God. This is what Lewis Hamilton collector items do to y'all? This is what it does to you? Oh, my goodness. Lewis Hamilton collector's items up for grabs, causing a mass hysteria right here in the Brazilian GP. No other way and better way to celebrate the Lewis Hamilton Brazilian honorary citizen of Brazil GP than a Lewis Hamilton collector's item Gym Mint 10 card. And I say that not again fast because I might not get as good at it. But that's what we got. I'm all for Ferrari now. I heard that shit. A lot of people are all for Ferrari now. All right, there we go. So once again, if you did not see the FIA document that I showed, it is confirmed 5 grid place penalty for Max right here. 5 grid place penalty as of right now. If anything else were to happen, then we could be looking at a steeper grid place penalty, and something that would need to happen in that situation would probably be, let me see if we can view that. So right now, let's see. I'm gonna bring this in the chart so you can kind of see where it is. So right here, you'll see Red Bull altogether, Perez and Max over their limit for ICEs, but Perez is over his limit for EC and CEs. And if you notice right here, MGUH, MGUK, and also the turbocharger, Max is at his limit there. So if anything were to happen in these 3 categories one more time, and he's looking at another grid place penalty. So let's just say something's not correct on that engine. The bolt-ons aren't exactly right. Something goes wrong in here. Max is looking at another grid place penalty. Right here, he's also on the limit at 2. 2 is it. Once you get to 3, you're there. Okay, so then he'll be looking at something else right there where he'll be in the danger zone. And right here, as far as his exhaust, that's another area of attention. Several other drivers that have completely lost out down here that are just all over the place with grid place penalties. If anything were to happen from there to there, from Alpine into V-Carb is where you're looking on that. All right, so a big shout out. We'll go ahead and bring this back in view so you can see that. Look at these times. Look at what these drivers are doing. Right now, we only have the top 10. We only have 6 minutes. Pit in from the bottom. We got Lando and Pia trading places up here up top. It's pretty much all McLaren day out here on the track at this point in time. Albon is in 3rd position, and that's pretty awesome. It would be crazy if Albon could finish there, but with Ferrari and Red Bull and still, I would say, Russell out there, Albon is going to be hard pressed to keep that position, but enjoy it while it lasts. So 5 minutes. Let's see. We got some catch up out there on the track right now. Anthony says, FIA logic, more you do it, lower penalty. That's FIA Max Verstappen logic, my brother. That's what that is. FIA Max Verstappen logic. All right, so right here we got cars buzzing. The McLarens are out there buzzing around, and this is kind of cool. Even though minus some toe action, there aren't any cars out there on track to obstruct them right now. There's 3 cars out there, so this is a good opportunity outside of the toe and the slipstream for them to get some solid laps in. Once other cars get out there, it kind of gets congested, and then now you're kind of maybe risking having your flying lap ruined or impeded upon. So this is good opportunity. But what you would really like is to, if you could set it up, is to have Piastri break through that air for Lando and Lando to come back behind that, getting a couple of more kilometers an hour to just take that time down a bit further, probably putting it out of reach from the other competitors. That's really what you would like to see. But in this situation, it's not what they're going to have right here. We're going to see what P is going to do. Right there, a 108.9 is what Lando lays down on soft compound tires. Don't be surprised that other softs come out right now. I think drivers are waiting to some final second minutes. We'll probably see the rest of these drivers come out of the pit as we get closer to the 3-minute mark. Okay, 3 minute, maybe. I'm not in front. Don't be surprised if it's the 2-minute 30-second mark where they absolutely are waiting for the final opportunity, final time countdown before they actually get out there. There's the Williams car and Alex Albon pumping as many laps as he can in, trying to get his time down while he has the free part to play with. It's kind of like if you're a gym rat and you go to the gym, nobody's there. You feel like you're in a candy land. You feel like you're in an oasis because you got every machine to yourself. You don't have to wait on anybody. It's kind of what's going on here. But like I said, there's some attributes to having some cars on track, but not running into a lot of traffic. But still, that's a good situation. Right here, we got Ferrari looking like they are coming out. Gasly, Berman, and Law coming out. Right now, you still got Charles, Russell, and Verstappen sitting in there, except for Charles is now pit out. Verstappen likely will be sitting there as you don't see any RPMs built up on that car right there. If you look down here at the bottom, Verstappen and Russell, no RPMs bit out. DRS flap is being checked right there. That car is starting up, so that sensor was triggered. And then once you see that DRS probably flap or that icon kick on for Russell, that also might mean that car is getting kicked on. RPM should start building up, and these drivers are finna get out here on track as we, like I said, the 3-minute mark, and there you go. Russell's car is started up, so we're going to get to see who's going to do what, where these people are going to be. This is for the sprint race, maximizing opportunity. The biggest and most important thing to watch, drivers to watch, is Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, of course. 2 drivers right now, one holding the Drivers' Championship, which is Max Verstappen, the other trying to clinch and grab it away from him. That's Lando Norris. 47-point gap, not something that is completely out of touch, something that is actually possibility for him to achieve within these next 3 races and 2 more sprint races, I believe. So it's very possible. Red Bull are already on the limit of running to their unit allocation. So a lot of things could come into play before the end of the season, all right? Lando's probably also going to have to be careful, as he may also be in a situation where he'll be looking at some grid place penalties, and we could just check that real quick. We'll check that real quick as we go back over here real quick, and we'll see that McLaren right here, pretty safe, but not really. There's some room over there where things could go awry for them, so they're going to need to be really careful about that. All right, we're on board with Bearman. The Bear. We're on board with The Bear. That was a movie. If you never saw the movie, it was kind of actually good. It was kind of actually good. All right, here we go right here. Bearman's in 7. We got everybody out there. It's game time. This is where we put the chips to the center of the table and we rock out with our hands out. Rock out with our hands out. Here we go. All right, 1 minute and 30 seconds is on that clock. Let's go. Let's go. Who's it going to be? Verstappen right now is in 9th. He's not going to stay there. Gasly's up in 3rd. McLaren have held tight to the top of this chart. Bearman goes into the top 5. That's an improvement. And Bearman's time gets deleted. Track limits, turn 2, lap 12. There goes Leclerc and Sainz in 6 and 7. Ferrari needs T-Law coming up to 5th. Reminds me of a Tekken character. Law. That was a Tekken character. I like to use Law in Tekken. Bow, Sainz popping up to 3rd. Let's go. Ferrari's trying to do something. Ferrari's trying to do something. What will Leclerc do? One more segment. Boom! Leclerc goes and splits the papaya. Pow! I want some fruit. He wants some fruit. Leclerc taking his second place right there, thinking that he can rival those McLarens in tomorrow's race. And that's going to be a glimpse of what they can actually do. None of these drivers want to wreck this car. No driver, you want to wreck a car because you feel like the car you get back is not the same car you once had. So we don't want to see that. Pia! My dog, 108.8 on top of his big brother says, take that noogie. Woo! McLaren is up in here, y'all. Let's go. What are we going to do? What's Russell going to do? He can't go no lower than 10, but can he get up there to the top 5? Can he get in there? Can he do something? Where's Max Verstappen? He's going to finish his time up. Looks like Max is on. Ooh, nah. Max, that ain't enough. That ain't enough. I don't think that's enough. Oh, that's not enough, I don't think. I don't think that's enough, Max. Bow, he's not in the top 5, but not close to the McLaren, split with the in between the Ferraris. And you know Carlos will do something. Carlos will put that pressure on Max Verstappen. Carlos will put the pressure on him. That's something we might want to see. Now, since it's a sprint, it might be a bit dialed back, but Carlos ain't going to be no punk. Charles, ain't too sure. Got to wait and see because he let Max take him all the way out to the parking lot in Coda that time. So I ain't really too confident about Charles, but we'll see. Russell in 6. As I said, Albon, Berriman slide down. I thought Gasly would actually slide down more, but he didn't. So shout out to Gasly doing what he did in 7th place. That's pretty straight. That's a high note for Alpine. T-Law doing way better than Danny Rick at this point in time. And like I said, if Lawson continues this type of performance throughout the season, I don't have a strong case for Yuki as why he should get the Red Bull seat other than he's just been there longer. That's not going to be enough. You can't have Law come in here and outperform you with the time that he's had in the car or have more points than you by the end of the season and then think that I have a good case to debate for you to have the Red Bull, the RB seat. It just won't work. Right here, what we're potentially looking into, and I'm not even sure we're looking into that because I think it's something said that Red Bull don't want another driver who is going to let Max Verstappen or give Max Verstappen challenges. Lawson seems like he'll challenge Max. He's not here to move over, he said. Now, if he doesn't, I'll be disappointed. But I don't think Lawson's that type of cat. But we could see he could be. You know, it's different when you get the seat, you get the money, get the flash, you're willing to do whatever you got to do to keep it. He could be that type of guy. But as it sits right now, there is your sprint qualifying order. Piastri and Norris right there. Piastri taking his sprint pole position. Lando Norris in 2nd. Now here comes the opportunity. Are we under team orders? Are we in team order situation? Piastri out-qualified Lando. Lando needs as many points as he can get. Is the team going to throw orders in? Piastri let Lando through the first turn. Lando needs as many points as we can get. You are support. Is that what we're going to see? Because that's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. I'm just saying, at this point in time, 47 points, 3 races left, couple of sprints left. That is what needs to happen. There needs to be team orders. P is my dog. That's the other driver that I root for. But at this point in time, strategically, McLaren need to tell Piastri tonight, the first turn, you need to let Lando through the first area where you don't have to compromise yourself and lose position. We need you to be between Lando and Charles and Verstappen. We need you to hold up Verstappen, hoping that you'll back him into the Ferraris. We need you to hold that up, okay? That's what we need to do. We need you to make sure that Charles is behind you, but not in front of you. But you need to make sure Charles stays in DRS range so he can have DRS to fend off Max Verstappen. There are a multitude of things that could and should go down as far as team orders in this race to give Lando as much opportunity to collect as many points as possible over Max Verstappen throughout the course and the time of these next few races, you all. So that's what we got. Big shout out. Do not forget, Still taking super chat entries. As many super chats as you do, your name goes in there. And that is what we got. Lewis Hamilton collector's item card. Tomorrow is the deadline. After qualifying, I'm cutting it off. The names that I have back until then will be thrown in the wheel, and we will be spinning for that. Big shout out to everybody joining us for this sprint qualifying. You have your sprint qualifying order. We want to see what Ferrari is going to do. A lot of people want to see what Ferrari is going to do. I already know that. I know this is something that you want. I know this is something that you want to see. I'm hoping that they actually do a damn good job throughout the rest of the season. But right now, I'm trying to see if McLaren can make this happen. Can we get as many points? And I want to see what's going to happen with Max Verstappen between two Ferrari cars. That being said, you know who it is. Jay from Wolfpack Performance. I'm out. Get your super chats in for the Lewis Hamilton collector's item. Peace.